we have come to the end somehow over the course of a whole year, 52 weeks of Old Testament Bible reading. This is week 52 and the end of a magnificent book, the book of Job. It's a little bit of a strange ending because really the history of the Old Testament is the history and the writings of the people of Israel. And we carried that to its conclusion several weeks ago with Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, and then Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi at the end. But we tacked the book of Job on. It's a wonderful book, really, of wisdom for how to live life, how to understand God and His workings in the world. And so we bring that to an end, and let's talk about how that book concludes. Okay, so in chapter 28, we have what is maybe the most important chapter in the book. It is in some ways an aside, and some have even wondered if it's just inserted by the author, and maybe not Job's words himself. But chapter 28 is the heart of the book because it is about wisdom, and it says that wisdom is really impossible for man to gain on his own. Man can go after all kinds of precious metals and jewels in the earth, dig them out from the deepest places, but he doesn't understand wisdom. Where's wisdom to be found? It's in the Lord. The Lord has it. So the fear of the Lord, that is wisdom. And we'll recognize that sentiment from the other books of wisdom in the Old Testament, Proverbs and Ecclesiastes. Okay, then moving forward, Job ends his words of the book by really defending his own righteousness. We've seen this before, but chapter 31 is a very in-depth defense from Job to say, I have kept my eyes pure. I have been faithful to my family. I have taken care of the poor. I have not cheated anybody, not lied. If I have walked in falsehood and not held fast to my integrity, then yeah, let all this happen to me. But I have been righteous, Job says, and so, in his mind, he does not deserve what is happening to him. Okay, the next few chapters, 32 to 37, is a new friend, Elihu, that comes on the scene. We don't have time to talk about it, but one of the questions about Elihu is he any better? Does he really have some wisdom that the friends don't have? Or is he just as lost as the others are in terms of trying to explain things that he doesn't understand? I tend to go with that view. And in chapter 38, when God finally speaks and says, who is this that darkens counsel by words without knowledge? I think if he's not specifically talking about Elihu, he is definitely including Elihu along with the friends and maybe even Job himself, those that have tried to explain things that are beyond them. And so God will spend 4 chapters talking about His power, His wisdom. Have you seen these great things of the earth? Do you know how these things happen? And notice that He's not only saying, I understand these complicated things and you don't, Job, but God is also pointing to certain qualities about Himself, His provision for all of creation, His ability to hold back the boundaries of dangerous things and so they do not cause more harm than they're supposed to. And that reminds us of how God has treated Job even in this book, saying to Satan, you can go this far but no farther. And then in chapter 41, this in-depth description of a sea monster, Leviathan. Again, a lot of confusion about that. But this represents, in many ways, the chaotic forces of the world. And God is the one that in all the darkness and all the chaos holds things together and rules the world in a way that is perfect, even if we don't understand it. And that's really the message of the book of Job. And so at the end, Job does regain all the stuff that he had, but we want to pay more attention to what he says to the friends, that these friends have been in the wrong by speaking things that they don't understand. And God, even though Job, I think, rightfully repents and humbles himself, God does make clear at the end that Job has not spoken wrongly, that he has spoken rightly. He needs to learn a lesson about the way God works and the fact that we won't understand everything. But God does commend Job at the end of the book for speaking rightly, and it is the friends who have gone wrong in their explanations. And so that is the message of the book of Job, and somehow kept all of that under 5 minutes, which I feel pretty good about. But thank you again, whether you've just jumped in for these last several videos or just for this one, or whether you've been watching this as a completion of the whole year, thank you, and I commend you for your interest in the Word of God, and pray that whenever you're reading through it, you will develop the good habit of reading on a daily basis to know Him better and to serve Him more faithfully. Thank you so much.